William Nelson, and I'll be presenting on speed map generation. My client was Jeremy Gottlieb, and my advisor was Dr. Beaton. So the problem that I'm trying to address is rovers that explore uncharted terrain that has never been touched by humans they all move at a very slow speed. They only move about 0.1 to 0.2 miles per hour throughout the whole thing, and it takes a very long time to get any meaningful data because of how slow they move. Now, the main reason that they're moving so slowly is because the issues of damaging any onboard equipment. Because these places are uncharted, humans most likely have not been there, will have a hard time getting there, so they put a robot there. And if something goes wrong and the rover goes too fast and breaks something, it can be very disastrous for the rover, and it could just end the whole project completely. So this is actually where my solution comes into play. And my solution is speed map generation, where you take into account the roughness of the terrain around it to generate a speed map. And what a speed map is it takes in point cloud, which is here in this picture, where it's a bunch of dots basically on the ground that a camera picks up. And each one of those dots is an XYZ coordinate. And these XYZ coordinates are going to be put into a system of equations that the rover then analyzes and gets a value back. And based off of the value that the rover gets, it'll determine how fast it is capable of going across the terrain. So if it realizes that it's like on level, smooth ground, the rover can obviously increase the speed instead of just stay at the static 0.1 to 0.2 miles per hour. And hopefully with this, depending on the rover that you're using, you could potentially increase the speed to about 6 miles per hour. And so the methodology that I used for this project was I had to go through and decipher many different mathematical algorithms and figure out how they worked and how to apply them to my project. So I had to reread a research paper that talked all about this, about the speed map generations. I reread it several times over because the wording was very difficult to understand and took quite a bit of effort to wrap my head around. But once I was able to, I had to then take the equations that I learned and implement them in MATLAB, which is a programming program that I had never used before. So it was a great experience trying to learn about that. So that leads me to my tools. The tools that I used for my project were, again, MATLAB to programming. I used a system of equations, which is the algorithms that I learned about within the research. And I used point clouds that generated data for the system of equations to use. Now, what I learned throughout the whole project was I learned all about MATLAB and learned many different functions and capabilities that it has. And I was also able to learn about matrix manipulation, because that's what MATLAB specializes in. It specializes in using matrices. So I was able to really learn about that and expand my knowledge in math. And I also learned about time management and how to compromise with my client. So, thank you for listening to my presentation.